So there's a few days left in February. I can't believe how fast this year is already zooming ahead. And I just wanted to come on and share a few thoughts and check in on how the year is going so far. February has been a really intense month. In numerology, it's the 9. 2023 is a 7, 2 plus 2 plus 3, and February is another 2. So we have a 9. And in the 9, we're really asked to look at what is looking to be closed and finished, completed. 9 is sort of a chapter of letting go. It's the end of the cycle. In March, we come back into a 1. And as well in the 9, not only are we letting go and recognizing what needs to shift, what needs to be finished, we're also starting to call in our next transition, our next cycle of 9. So it's a very exciting time in that you really get to see your accomplishments and where you've come. And of course, it's not always easy to let go. It's not easy to say goodbye to things or to feel the gap that comes when something is finished. So I know for myself, this has been a really wild ride of a month. And I feel like we've really been faced, and the clients that I'm meeting with as well, there have been all kinds of things that maybe didn't go exactly as expected. Maybe you didn't get that job you applied for and you sure you were going to get it, or maybe something happened and now it's time to move. Maybe the relationship is just, you see the writing on the wall and it's time to make that change. And I just want to remind you that there is so many good things coming, or maybe let you know. I really feel like the momentum of March and April is going to be massive. I felt this since the very start of the year. I kind of was aware that it might not feel like the new year or the start of something fresh until more into the spring. And as the year has been unraveling for us, it's definitely appearing to be true. So this is an encouraging message just to let you know that if there are things from, cycles you're in, patterns you're seeing, oh my God, why am I here again? How is this happening again? And this type of commentary in the mind, it's an invitation. This is an amazingly fertile time for just recognizing what's trying to fall away. If we allowed it, if we made room, and some room is being created even without us asking, things being taken off the plate, things just not going the way we thought. And in that space, we're creating room for what is going to come. So I will say this is not always easy, looking at ourselves and the places where, how we are, how we do things. I know a lot of my own personal wounds came up last week in a really big way. There were challenges in relationships and confrontational experiences that are really not my favorite. That is a place I try to avoid. I really like closure and solutions and working things out. And as that space was created where that wasn't possible and there was room for me to be with my feelings, that's really what I realized was necessary. And it became very obvious why this situation came in, that there was an opportunity for me to heal something that had been a burden for decades of my life. Coming from things like fear of abandonment and being rejected and this kind of idea. Maybe you can relate. And so when the uncomfortable thing happened and my initial inner child comes up saying, oh my goodness, let's make it right. Let's fix it. I'm sorry. Can we undo these things? Can we go back? Can I take it back? Can I fix it? All of this different, those are my patterns in particular. Um, you know, it was such a beautiful, difficult experience to sit with that and to just feel into what was I going through there? What was I truly feeling? And what did it mean to me? And then to, accept where someone else is at. We're different human beings. We have different ways and different sorts of waves we need to ride when things occur. And so on one level, I was really learning about stepping back and allowing myself to be truly respectful of exactly where someone is. And on another level, there was this huge opportunity for me to really look at my own things and heal those from a really honest place. And I get the feeling now that that time has passed and resolution is coming through. I really get the feeling that if something like this were to happen again, I don't know that I would go to that same place. I feel like something has truly shifted. So that gives me great encouragement because I really know that right now, many of us are being called into a next transition in our lives, something that has been maybe niggling in the background, something that calls to your soul, calls to your deeper truth. And to say yes to that sometimes means having to let go of the things, our patterns, and our those little challenges that seem to get in our way and hold us back. Something like that happens, we get very distracted, we get really pulled into dramas, perhaps. Maybe we spend a lot of time talking about it or dwelling in it, feeling a lot of pain. And there's nothing wrong with that and going through your process. And at the same time, there is sort of that other piece, which is, and when do we move through, and how do we see what actually is being presented, and how do we move towards the next thing. And so this is a lot of what's going on in my own life and also with clients that I work with. And so I do want to invite you that if this is sounding familiar to you or ringing any bells, and perhaps, there's still cycles that you're sitting in or sitting with and not exactly sure how to transition through them, how to start to choose the next thing. Maybe there's a fear that, this is all going to happen again. Look, here I am again. So what if I do it again? So this is where some of the work that I get to do is really powerful, in that we look at your personal imprints from your birth and really get a sense of the tendencies that you might have, the shadow aspects and challenges that might interfere the most with the parts of you that are called to be greater and more. And so if this is you and if this speaks to you, I would love for you to reach out and to connect. And it would be so fun. And at the very least, it would be fun to look at your charts and see what you might be dealing with. And of course, to support you in moving through and choosing that next layer, which I know is calling us in as March and April approach. Thank you so much for listening. Love you so much.